What's up, guys? We're back. All right, part two. I know how you guys are. And watching a video that's like over 20 minutes long, you might be falling asleep. So some of you guys are really into it, kind of like me. Avocados, I can watch a 20-minute video, no big deal. But I figure I split it in half. These are some of the varieties I'm having issues with, so I'll show you some of these. So, and you know what? I'm digging a hole. I had a tree, got it out. I'm gonna put another avocado variety right there. Follow along if you want to know what I'm gonna put right there. I know it's a little close to the fence, but I'm gonna maintain it and keep it kind of small. So we'll see how it goes. Then you got varieties like this. This is my Anaheim. As you can see, it's not doing too good. And it's been put in the ground for the same amount of time as my warts. And the warts, even though it hasn't fruited, is growing nicely. And this one, kind of sad. But it set fruit last year. One kind of took and then it eventually fell off. Well, this year, it's doing it again. So it's been in the ground for over 2 years now. And I don't expect this fruit to kind of hold on, because the tree is kind of weak. And then I had a leader that was up here, and then my gardeners who came and topped the trees broke this part off. So, but overall the tree is just kind of weak, and a lot of it just might be the rootstock that this thing was grafted onto. It was from Laverne Nurseries, which got bought out. So you know what, who knows what they use. It might have been Zutano rootstock, Zutano seed or something like that, but it just hasn't been that strong, so who knows. And the Jim Bacon, similar. I mean, it's been in the ground for a couple years now. Produced fruit last year. I got one, but UFOs got to it before I got a chance to really eat it. And it ate enough that I was like, no, I'm not gonna eat. I'm not gonna try to taste it. I expect this to kind of taste like a bacon, but this is supposed to be better than bacon, so I was kind of curious. And it's setting fruit again this year. Let's see if I can, here's one right there. I know some of you have asked me to kind of show the progress of my Jim Bacon. So this is what it looks like today. Here's my 5-foot mark right there. So the Anaheim and the Bacon, even though it's been in the ground for a good period of time, it's still not doing great. If I go into where the trunk is, it's actually not bad. The trunk is big, but the scion up and the actual grafted part up hasn't really told the tree to kind of start producing. So we'll just kind of hold on. I like having multiple varieties in the little grove here, so I'm excited to have a Jim Bacon. I hope that the fruit kind of holds on so I can actually enjoy it this year. So we'll see how that goes. Then there's varieties like this. This is a Forte, and I just haven't had much luck with this Forte. It's been in the ground for over 2 years now, and it flowered this year a little bit, but really didn't set any fruit. So I suspect that the spot that it's in, it's not too happy with, because it is kind of close to like eucalyptus. I mean, these are eucalyptus, huge trees that I topped it, so now there's more light coming in, so maybe it's gonna make this thing kind of react differently. So we'll see. But I do like the Forte fruit, and that's why I have it, but I haven't gotten any fruit yet. So it's possible that the Forte is one of those varieties that for me has been tough, and maybe for you too, but I'm not exactly sure if it's just the variety or maybe just the spot that it's in. So I mean, it's growing nicely. It's you know, there's the blue, the 5-foot mark right there, so it's growing a little bigger, but no fruit yet. Same thing with my surprise. So I'll show some footage of when I got it. It's been about 2 years now. Surprise has been known to kind of alternate. It's like an alternate bearer of fruit. So I actually got a little flower and I got some fruit set, but the fruit just didn't hold on. So this is what it looks like today, but no fruit. So we'll see. Hopefully I get some fruit next year. But if I don't get fruit next year, I am gonna pull this thing out. It's just not productive, and I don't want to keep watering something that's just, not doing much. So definitely would consider getting rid of it. So I hope for your sake, Mr. Surprise, you better fruit next year. So we'll see how that goes. And you got like varieties like this, Mexicola. It's on the side next to my Forte, so maybe this side is problematic. It produces fruit. I have fruit, and not necessarily a fan of the fruit. And the fruit really, um, I guess it just kind of doesn't do too well here. And I think that the flavor is not necessarily my favorite type of avocado flavor. The skin is really thin. I mean, to me, probably not worth keeping. So we're going to be top working this eventually. And then my like Zutano, which is a decent tree, is actually growing nicely. Um, just skipped flowering altogether this year, which is odd. So, the Zutano is kind of put into orchards to kind of help pollinate the Hass. And if you got a Zutano tree that didn't flower at all, like what I had this year, don't know. I mean, it's just kind of odd that it's doing that. It's growing nicely. Zutano is not necessarily my favorite avocado taste-wise. It did produce a lot of fruit last year. That might be part of the reason why it kind of skipped a year. So keeping it for now. We'll see how it goes. And right next to it is my Hass. The plan with the Hass was to have Hass here and then Zutano here, kind of copying what orchards do to kind of manage their trees. So I got a lot of fruit last year. I enjoyed a ton of Hass fruit, and it's producing fruit again this year. It's not as much as last year, but I know that the size of this fruit right now, here for size comparison, here's my finger, here's my hand. So I'm pretty sure these are gonna hold on and produce decent tasting, actually probably one of the best tasting avocados out there. So these are a good size. They're building some size now, so this is essentially the time to add a little extra potassium to your fertilizer mix if you can, because the fertilizer mix that has a higher potassium will help build your fruit and size it up nicely. So this is what my house looks like today. I'm gonna walk back a little bit so I can get it into the scale. It's a nice tree, and it's kind of leaning that way, which is okay. I mean, we get winds that come in this direction, so that's kind of why it does that. But right next to it is my Edinger, and here's the fruit set right now, and it has a decent amount of fruit. So excited about this again. But last year I had a lot of fruit also, and a lot of it dropped. I ended up only getting one to make it all the way to the end. So it's kind of what it looks like today. There it is. They're blue. Right there is the 5-foot mark. And then here's my Gian Boyce, really just reaching up to the sky. So what I decided to do, if you see some of my old videos, I had a tree right here and I had another tree like right here. So I cut both of those down, and they were big, kind of like ash trees. And the goal is to give this guy more light, and I hope that it stimulates it to produce more fruit. So I have some fruit on there, not a lot. I'll see if I can zoom into some of the fruit that's there. Kind of hard to see, but let's see if we can do that. Maybe you can see one right there. So, not that good, unfortunately. I'm hoping that by doing this and cutting down those trees that this Jan Boyce will get more sun and hopefully produce more fruit next year. So it is what it is. And I also did it because I wanted to really help promote this guy, which is Kona Charwell. And I got this from Brokaw Nurseries. It's on Duke 7 rootstock, and it's growing nicely. This is like my first Kona Charwell that I've had success with, and I contribute a lot of it to this one being on Duke 7 and being a clonal rootstock from Brokaw. So I'm excited about having this because the fruit's excellent. So trying to promote a little bit more light and hopefully get some fruit in the coming years. So I know I'm kind of rambling on. Hopefully you guys are doing good. You got to make sure you stay hydrated, keep your avocados hydrated. And if you are not a part of the team, subscribe now to be a part of the team and follow along in this journey. And if you're growing your own avocados and tracking progress and comparing it to me, let's do it together. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.